You was taken from the side.
OMC.
You was taken from the side.
Mark Hunt.
You was taken from the side.
Ruben Wiki.
You was taken from the side.
Philip Uimana.
You was taken from the side.
Don Ray.
So know you know where I live. So know you know I'm top my place. So take it up the TV. It only shows the ugly side of my take it from the side.
Kia ora whānau, ngā hui hui mai nei I tēnei rā, and welcome to the TC podcast, brought to you live from the TC Careers Department. I'm not Matuati, I'm Mashi, and so for all those that don't know me, why don't you know me? Anyway, look, hey, we've got a special guest jumping on today. The weekly podcast happens every week. This person is quite close to my heart, and I'd like to bring him into the studio now. Please, can you put your hands together and welcome an up-and-coming UFC MMA fighter, Mose. Afua.
Hey. So,
Mose. Bro. Man, it's good to see you, Mose.
Good to see you, brother. How are you, bro?
I'm really good. I haven't had a haircut like you, but I'm getting there, Mose. Hey, Mose,
Okay.
look, before we get on and carry on with the interview, and Matuati will come in. Hey, look, I just asked him if I could spend a little bit of time with you and just to talk about you, bro, just to talk about your background, where you come from, how many siblings you have, talk about your parents, talk about your culture, talk about the school. So, bro, tell us, what's it? You know, what's the background? What's the haps, bro? How many siblings do you have in your family, Mose?
I got 2 older sisters and 2 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 5. I was
Wow.
raised here in Otara. My parents both from Samoa, and I think they moved here. I forgot when they moved here, but we were brought up here in Otara.
Oh wow, Mose. Hey, so, bro, do you know what village your parents come from, bro?
My mom comes from Fluffy, and my old man comes from Salimo, Lanamalava, in Savati.
Savai. Whoa. Haven't been there yet, but I will get there one day. Hey, Mose, you talked about being raised in Otara. Me and you have got a direct link with that, eh, bro? When you were a baby, you were brought up in what house, man?
7 Murray Road, Otara. This guy.
7 Murray Road, Mose. Look, funny story, whānau. One time I was taking some of Mose's family home. It wasn't Mose because he wasn't bad. It was his other brother, Tarama. And when I was taking him home, I go, hey, bro, I know this house. He goes, oh yeah, this is my house. Oh yeah. Oh well, bro, I was born in this house in the back room. And he goes, oh, is your name Brian Marsh? I go, yeah. He goes, oh yeah. In our wardrobe it says Brian Marshall's here. So before I left Mose, I tagged.
What did you take?
that.
Brian Marsh.
Yeah, Brian Marsh
Take
was
your
here.
name. Brian Marsh was here. Yeah.
Oh man, that's why I wasn't a tagger, Mose. Hey, you talk about being raised in Otara, Mose, you know, and me being born in Otara. So what were some of the things that you found, you know, interesting? Let's just say in the Otara area, bro, when you were growing up.
Yeah, it was good growing up here in Otara. It was a solid upbringing. Everyone was tough. Or that's like the mindset here to be the toughest, you know.
Yeah.
Out here growing up in Otara, everyone wants to be the strongest, but it's good, you know, it's a good thing. Yeah, it was good growing up here.
Matuati's in the house. Kia ora, Matuati.
Kia ora, boys. How are you, Mose?
Good.
You like throw Marshy in at the last minute, and then what's this guy doing? Thought I'd throw him in the mix to keep the conversations going and alive. Hey, again, just thank you for jumping on, Marshy, the man himself. Still takes to this day. Brian Marsh is his tag. And I remember, quick story. I remember at the altar, the Dawson basketball hoops. Up at Dawson by Tupou Library. My tag used to be Terry Rules.
Terry Rules.
Yeah,
stupid. As Barry Marshall's one.
Yeah,
but that's old school. That's old school. That's why, bro.
Yeah. See, represent our names. Hey, quick fire questions. Just so we can get into it and get into our questions today. Primary and intermediate school, which ones did you go to?
I went to Dawson Primary, just up the road here on Dawson Road, and I went to Ferguson Intermediate.
Oh, unlucky use. Unlucky. Culture?
Samoan, full Samoan, but born here in New Zealand.
Yo. Yeah, I heard the parents of Samoan. That's awesome, man. Beautiful place, Samoa. What years were you at TC?
I was there 2007 when I was fifth form, and then I came back 2009 for my last year. Simple.
Oh,
I was there 2 years.
Oh, yeah, so 2007 and 2009. True that.
Yeah.
So, what did you stay at Ferguson until? What's it?
Until sixth form.
You're the only one here that's got kicked out, went to Ferguson, and then came back. No.
I went to Wesley College. That's where I started.
Year 9 and year 10?
Third form, and then I got kicked out. Then I went to Preparatory High, fourth form, 2006.
Yeah.
And then you just wanted to leave there, bro, and come to TC?
Yeah, I wanted to go to TC. Best school. The best school.
Man, that's a bit of a mix. Favorite subject at school at TC?
Outdoor education.
Oh, yeah. PE.
Alleyway.
Anything outdoor.
Anything out of school? Oh.
Anything out of school.
Any favorite teachers back then? Mr. Wassy?
Miss Ashmore and Miss Beale, Miss White. Brian Marshall was a good guy to me. He was cool.
He was all right. No, that's cool, man. Hey, thanks for answering those. Let's get straight into it. So this podcast is focused on our TC students, our current students, and to tell them about our experience while we're at school, and also what we did when we move on, because we're part of the careers department, and part of it's, when they move on, it's a bit unsure, like what to do, and we just want to find out what you done when you left school and how you got to this spot where you are now. So first question up, when you were at TC, what did you want to be, or what did you want to do?
Wanted to play for the All Blacks. I was playing rugby at the time for the first 15. So
yep.
Yeah, I wanted to play for the All Blacks at the time.
Yo,
Mose, if you had another option apart from rugby, my bro, was there something else that you would have done if rugby wasn't an option?
Want to be a scientist or something?
Hey,
This guy. Nah.
Those labs, bro. Those labs.
Those labs, eh?
To be the principal's pet. Oh, sorry. Hey, oh yeah. So what happened with the All Black stream?
I'm not sure. I can't really, it's tough. It was hard. Just keep him. I got into the workforce actually. After school, I went and got a job, and then I just didn't have time to train.
Yeah.
Or play rugby in that, so I just started working.
Hey, Mose, when you talk about working, bro, and it's easy to get caught up in that work life, and you sort of put
Yeah, too.
every other thing to the
Yeah.
side because of the work life, and you want to help your family, and you want to just play a part in helping out the the inga. Bro, what sort of way that did you say, actually, I've got a dream, and I want to follow it? What sort of brought you to that point? What's there?
It was when my father passed away, 2011. Passed away
Wow.
2011, July.
Aroha mai, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And start of the year 2012, January, I joined up with a gym in Australia. I was in Australia, in Sydney, my family, my brothers. I was with my brother Lama. We just finished work, and we had these pads, just down the road from where we were working in Sydney. Just went and checked it out, and just signed up, and the rest was history.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that was back in 2010.
11.
11.
My dad passed away 2011. 2012, I started fighting.
2012. So you left school in 2009. What did you do in 2010?
Just enjoying life, enjoying being allowed to go to the clubs and
I was a hustler, full-time hustler. Eh?
19, 20.
Were you working at the time in 2010?
Yep, I was working. That's when I moved to Australia.
Oh yeah. And what kind of job were you doing then?
I was just containers in Sydney.
Oh
Vanning.
yeah, devanning. No, that's cool.
Mose, I've got a question, bro, and I guess this is quite applicable to every Otara kid that grows up in Otara. The scene around in Otara sometimes can be heavily occupied by certain different gangs that are out there, Mose, and it's sometimes hard to try and steer away from them. I guess moving to Australia, Mose, helped with that distancing. But what was it like living in Australia compared to living back home here?
Living in Australia. Yeah, it was pretty easy. It was just going to work and not really having anything else to do. Just doing one thing, just wake up, go to a job, didn't have any friends. Just come back home, me and my brothers. Yeah, that was the life.
Yo.
Me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I missed Otara when I was there. I still had the Otara ways. They're trying to be tough around Australia.
The fair buckle one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how those habits die hard too. Like even when you get a bit older, you still got those Otara genes and hey, I'm from Otara. But bro, calm down.
Yeah, you know what they say, but hey, boys, you can take a boy out of Otara, but you can't take the Otara out of the boy.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to, eh? Sometimes you need to just a little bit of that Otara out of the boys. Yeah. The only reason I say that is that sometimes, like, our mentality here in Otara can set us up to fail. Like trying to be hard everywhere where you don't need to be hard everywhere. Thinking lower. Like, I don't know about your guys' self, but sometimes you feel lower about yourself just because you're from Otara. But, bro, we the top. This is, well, I think we're the top. It's just some of those bad habits, and because we hang around the same people all the time in Otara, the mentality is not as like high or ambitious. It's very just standard. You know what I mean?
Matoti, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can, sir.
which is not trying to take over the podcast, but hey, Mose, when we talk about when Matuati was talking about trying to get out of that mindset and into a different mindset, because that's all it's all about, really. It's how we think that usually turns to how we act. So in MMA or in UFC, you've got different disciplines that you use within the ring. And so, the art of boxing, the art of kickboxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, sambo, wrestling, Muay Thai fighting, karate, taekwondo, judo, those disciplines you can use within the ring. What's your favorite?
You
What's
forgot
that
one more. Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Spirit bomb.
Bro, I love that. I love that too.
I'll get you from here.
I love drinking. Bro, I love drinking Tai Chi. What discipline are you really like? If you were to go in there and say, man, I'm the bro, don't mess with me. One, I come from Otara. Two, I'm Samoan, right? And three, this is my discipline. What is it? What's that discipline, bro?
Be more than discipline. Be hard.
Yep. Hey.
Be hard.
Yo.
Nah, but I'll be kickboxing. I come.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of us we got good stand up over here. We
Stand
love
up. What?
we love to throw those low kicks.
Yep.
Kick the poles and kick in the trees and
like this. Like this. Like this.
Tumbo.
Kickboxing. And so is that what you did you manage to go over there to Taiwan, bro, or over to where they do kickboxing to spend some time over there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was good. But coming from here was like I had a kind of like an advantage, Coming from this side of the world, Otara. They kind of had better stand up than most of them. They just from doing it from a young age over here, growing up, having one-on-ones here and there, with your own friends, and be friends again after that.
Yeah.
So it's good to go over to Thailand. Yeah.
Bro, talk to me about the stand-up, bro. I'm hearing it from you that we've got a good stand-up game. What's that? Yeah, man, what does that mean?
We're good punches and kicks.
Yep.
We're smart at using our variety of punches and kicks. We're just used to it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we have over most of other fighters around the world.
Yeah. That's cool. So when you went to Australia, did you just go along to the gym, or is that what you wanted to do, or was it just a pastime thing, or what made you get into the MMA fighting or kickboxing and that?
I was into it at a young age. My dad used to make me punch the bag and like do stuff like training like that. Early in the morning, he'd wake me up, go to the park, do sprints and that, and then we're always doing like fight related training, but in preparation for rugby games and rugby season.
True.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so and then you joined what club or what gym did you join over there?
I joined Juggernaut MMA in Sydney.
Oh, Juggernaut. Is that with Mark Hunt?
Yeah. I was lucky. It was surprised. We're very lucky to be near that gym. We just moved there. We didn't know his gym was there.
Yeah.
We went and checked out the gym, and it was owned by Mark Hunt. So,
yeah, he's a beastly. Did you ever take one of his punches?
Nah.
Bro, like I've heard, like even in his sparring, his punches are just lethal way. Yeah, I used to train back at the MMA Pound way back in the days. Useless as 10-0, 10 losses, no wins.
This guy.
But no, it's a good discipline, and what do you think is some of your strengths in the octagon or in the ring?
Yeah, I just love stand up. I just love to stand and see who's the smarter fighter standing up.
Yeah. So you like the
Mose,
Right. Yeah.
Mose, have you ever been have you ever been in a fight where there's been grappling? And then if you have, how have you overcome to get back up onto your feet to have that standing game, that stand-up game?
Yeah, I've been taken to the ground a couple of times when I was an amateur, and then I've lost some fights on the ground. I'm still learning and trying to improve in that area at the moment. But it is a tough place to be, the ground. Yeah.
But
Are you gonna?
I see all
Gotta get better.
elbows and
Yeah.
man punches, man, and once they get into a dominant position, it's really hard to get out of,
Yeah.
bro.
That's it.
But before we got on to the show, sorry, Matuati, before we got on to the show, we were talking about some legends in the UFC. And you and Matuati were talking about Andrew Peck.
Yeah, solid.
Scary, man. Bro.
What some things do you like about Andrew Peck, bro?
So good kicks, eh? Goes out
Yep.
to his low kicks or something. Yeah. Very good kicks.
Yeah, he damaged one of my brother-in-law's leg, man, just with those kicks, eh? That's how I always remember that guy, eh? By the strength. And that's, a lot of the island boys, they're not strong with the legs, or not really. They're more the straight, the old stand-up, bro, I'll knock you out one punch once. But how do you think yourself and other PI kids can overcome that? Because we know, like, if you're a smart fighter and I'm fighting you, bro, I'm gonna take your legs. Just I don't know about you, because you'll probably be strong anyway. But Samoan boys, sometimes it's just take the legs out, because their legs are not as strong as their top half.
Yeah. Yeah, just for me, we just a lot of checking repetition of just throwing low kicks when I'm shadow boxing or punching the bag. Just a lot of low kicks. So that camp, I'll spend a lot of time just drilling the fence side of things. Get somebody inspiring to imitate Andrew Peck.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of low kicks, a lot of kicks, and I'll just try to get into the habit of just checking and attacking, counter attacking, check return.
Yeah. So you
That's how I overcome that.
You're learning how to defend the takedown as well? Because once you get those Samoan boys on the ground, that's bro. Those who are experts at jiu-jitsu and wrestling, bro, they take over the game, on the low position. So you learning that, or you improving in that area as well?
Yeah, trying to improve in the wrestling area.
Yeah.
No, I didn't find it that harder than learning how to punch and kick. I think wrestling will come natural for us as we grew up playing rugby, and it's kind of similar, the movements.
Yeah. Mose, I'm not a rugby man. I'm a rugby league man. Or to the Scorpions through and through. But Mose, you're talking about when you go into the camp. I heard when you say you go in camp. How long is usually a camp? And what I mean by that, whānau that are listening, a trainer goes into a camp to train up for a fight. How long does your camp usually go for, Mose?
Camps are usually 10 to 6 weeks, depending on when I get the fight. Then when I sign the contract for the fight, and then that's when we start camping.
And what do you fellas focus on when you get into camp, Mose? Do you have a look at your opponent, and does your coaching team look at the opponent and go, okay, here's some weaknesses that we can work on? So what, talk us through that, Mose. What do you fellas go through?
Yeah, we have a look at the fighter. Because that's what will come on the contract, like who we're matched up with. We'll have a look at them during that week or two, and then from there, we'll just be more focusing on me getting better as a fighter, not
Yeah.
really focusing on our opponents, or it'll be just focusing on me improving on the areas that I need to work on.
Yeah.
So
Do you
that's what
guys-
we'll be doing during the camp. Just spending a lot of time getting better, trying to
And do
get
you
better.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like trying to.
Sorry,
Sorry, man. I should
sorry, man.
It's because Mose comes from Auckland, that's why. Bro, change your title, bro. It's supposed to be Otara,
Otara.
bro. Yeah,
I'm from Otara.
bro. Hey, looks like
Yeah.
Matua T is frozen, bro. Bro, you frozen him, bro, with your camp strategies, bro. Hey, Mose, until we get Matua T back on, hey, look, you talk about 2011, the loss of your dad and how that impacted your life. Same with me, bro. When my mum passed away, it had a devastating effect, And when you say that you moved over to Australia to be with your bros, tell us, bro. How did you get through that time?
At the time I was young, I was only 20 years old. But at the time, for me, I just had to keep moving. I was sad and I was hurt, and I was like, it was too late. Yeah, it was too late. It was too late going through something good now. My dad was already gone, but I knew I had to keep moving, and I had to figure out a plan.
Bro, that's awesome,
Yeah,
bro. And I guess that's why you want to honor him and everything you want to do now,
yeah.
Mose.
Uh,
Hey, let's talk about UFC, bro, because that's the ultimate aim, is to get into the big show, right? Is to get your name. So the legends like Mark Hunt, who made it in there, Māngere boy, born and raised to the end of his days, been around the world fighting in all these events held by UFC. 1993 is the first ever event that UFC held 27 years ago, right? 27
yeah,
years ago, man. How old are you now?
29. So I was probably
See,
two.
for
Yeah, I
2
was
years old.
2 years old.
Yeah, man.
2 years old.
2 years old when the first ever UFC fight took place. 27 years later, now that you're 29, what's the goal, Mose? What's the goal getting back into or getting into the USC?
Yeah, the goal is to get into the UFC, and my main goal is to become UFC middleweight champion. That's my main goal. Yeah. Now that I feel I'm getting closer, I've changed my goal. I want to be the champion now. I don't, I don't just want to be a UFC fighter. I want to be a UFC champion. You know, but I know
Yeah,
it's gonna take a lot of work. Work hard, work smart. Yeah,
that's what
that's the goal.
that's what Mr. Suasua, the principal at TC, talks about, being ambitious. Don't just be a fighter, right? Or
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
just win a title, but be the best. Hey, ambitious, bro. That's what I love to hear, man.
yeah. Try to become. Yeah.
So what does it mean, bro? So how long do you think that's going to take, Mose?
Um, I'm sure I'm like a couple of fights away from a contract. I
Oh,
think.
wow.
Yeah, a couple of fights. Probably, hopefully, the next 10 months, 12 months, depending on this lockdown.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, and would you go and fight anywhere, Mose, or would you wait for it to come back here or Australia or whatever?
Yeah, I'll probably just sign as soon as they send the fight, wherever it is. I'll just sign, just go with that.
Me. Okay,
Just
Mose,
take the
I don't want to
opportunity and go.
get on a bus and go.
Get on the bus and go away.
Mose, I don't want to
Alright.
get personal. Mose, I don't want to get personal, but I'm sure there are a lot of people out there would like to know how much do you get for a fight, bro? So when you sign the contract, what's the largest amount that you've ever fought for, and what's the smallest amount? Hold on? Are you allowed to say it?
I don't get enough. I don't get enough. I should get more. I should.
Hard out.
Well, you know, it's a tough sport. You know, a lot of scary times in this on this journey. Yeah, I feel the fighters are worth more than what they're paid.
Wow. I totally agree,
But the
bro. I've
lowest
seen
was $100. The lowest was $100, and this was
what?
like a fight just a couple of years ago. The promoters were
Mud.
no good, but now we're a lot smarter now. You know.
Bro, was that fight at the
Yeah.
Dawson shops? $100. Bro,
$100.
you're a lot
No, that one
smarter
was for a
now.
lunchbox. That one was for a lunchbox.
Wins lunchbox.
When's lunchbox?
Hey, Mose, look, I've got a few more questions and then we'll jump on to some of these comments coming through. Mose, the fights that are organized, how many fights have you been in, organized fights that is not fights out on the, in the parks and in the alleyway, but how many organized fights in a ring have you been a part of, Mose?
I've been in 26 professional kickboxing fights. Yeah, I got a record of 18 wins, 6 losses. Yeah. Oh, 8
Um,
losses. 8 losses.
hey,
I didn't
hey,
count the other 2. I'm like, that was decision losses. I was like, the judges are playing up. They're watching the wrong fight.
hey. The Māori judges, that's why, bro.
uh,
So 26 all up,
and
man.
5 professional, 26 all up, and 5 professional MMA fights. 4 wins, 1 loss.
Wow. And majority of those wins, Mose, have been by
Knockout. Been by knockout.
I'm gonna knock
80%
you out. Oh,
ratio.
yeah. Now you're talking. Now you're talking
No.
80% ratio. So in terms of a match having an outcome, there's a submission, there's knockout. What else are the Mose submission, knockout?
Uh, when they verbally quit, when
Oh,
they
yeah.
like move away and they
Yeah.
they still do those ones.
Hey, Matuti, you're back on.
Yeah, sorry, man. My
It's
internet
all right.
just cut out. So I'm on my laptop now.
It's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
I'm glad it's still going because I thought I turned it off. So yeah,
Matuti, last
sorry.
week on
I need to
Friday,
get paid.
Mose's internet ran out too. Last Friday on the catch up.
Yeah, the Powerball, me and you, bro. The Powerball went off, and man, then I just quickly paid it. Hey, get into some of these last questions just because of time. I heard a bit while I was watching live. Sorry. Fighting goals. So I heard that you wanted to be the champion. How what kind of things do you need to develop to be the champion? Because like these the Connors, the Israels, like even the Mark Hunts, I rate right up there. How can you be like or what do you need to develop to be a superstar?
Just gotta just keep getting better, just keep learning, improving, and where I need to improve on, and it's the only way. Yeah.
Yo,
Hard work and dedication.
Hard
yeah, that's
work
the
and
one.
dedication. Mose, I know the main one above all of that you always talk about is heart.
Yeah, heart. It's important. Heart's important. Get you through those tough times.
Yo, especially when you get hit really hard, eh? Like you need that fighting spirit, like during those times.
Yeah.
Yo, I've never been hit that hard, which is pretty good.
The warrior spirit.
Yeah,
The
definitely,
warrior
bro.
spirit.
Maori spirit,
Yeah.
bro. Heart out.
New Zealand
Maui.
warriors.
Maui. Everybody must.
Stop.
Yeah. Bring the warrior spirit.
Yo,
Heart
definitely.
out. Heart out.
Maybe we'll skip this question. What are some life hacks and wisdom drops young students should know when they enter the world of life? Because you went into devanning straight after school, and that's not really a top job. It's still a job, but it's not a top job. But what made you kind of find your purpose and make you get into these areas that you're in now?
Just got sick of what I was doing. Just didn't like waking up. Going to that job, I didn't like waking up. There's not really any point of me living just going to that job, to be honest. I just had to figure something out and just stick to it and just never stop. I've had losses, I've had a lot of tough times along the way, but I didn't stop. I just kept going, and now things are starting to unfold now.
Yo.
So yeah, that's a life hack to just don't stop.
And it's been what, like 8 years now, and you're still fighting?
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah.
Man, good on you.
But professionally, just only in 4 years. Professionally, only 4 years.
Yeah. And what's your win-loss record at the moment?
I'm still early. 18 wins, 8 losses in professional kickboxing.
Yeah.
And 4-1, 4 wins, 1 loss, professional MMA, cage fighting.
Man.
80% knockout.
80%.
Knockout ratio.
80% knockouts.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Bro, if you had the chance, maybe for both of you, for $100,000, would you take on Mike Tyson right now? He's souping up at the moment for maybe a clash of the Titans fight. But would you take it for 100 grand? I know Mose would, but yeah. But would you happy to get knocked out? Would you?
Not if you have a body like this.
Hey, mine and yours will absorb the shock.
Bro, no way, man.
Yeah, mean. We'll go into these last questions from everyone from Facebook. Oh, have you already been through some, Mash? Sorry.
Nah, we didn't get a chance, bro.
No. So from Mr. Tanifa, what's training session look like besides looking hard? What's in a session?
Just a lot of conditioning, cardio. At the start of camps, just a lot of cardio, conditioning, and then midway towards the end, just more technical and more just how to kind of training. Just learning way. Yeah.
Mm.
Mose, you talk about
Yeah.
not making weight. You know, but when you talk about conditioning and you talk about training, does it come down to the amount you eat as well and what your intake is and stuff like that, Mose?
Yeah, I love my food. I love it more than fighting, actually. Yeah, man, I love my food. Family, everybody knows. My mom always grabs me about missing weight and eating like when I've already eaten just an hour ago.
Yeah.
So
Because missing weight, man,
how do you overcome that then, Mose? How do you overcome the love of eating? Because everybody loves to eat, bro. Everybody loves to
Yeah,
eat.
I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. I've got a hint for you, bro. Just close your bloody mouth.
go back to the islands with no money. You'll soon lose some weight.
The
yeah.
islands will be a good place, to do a camp.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Hey, any last questions from you, Mashi?
Hey, look, my last question, Mose, it's not really a question, but look, every time I view you on Facebook or follow you around the world, Mose, man, I'm just so proud of you, my boy. You have come such a long way from a boy who entered into the Tangaroa College system at year 11, and then you went on and you finished,
Yeah.
you finished school. So I just want to encourage you, Mose, finish this fight too. Finish this fight. Be the best that you can be. Be ambitious. Be the champion, Mose, because you got every one of us behind you, my boy. Every one of us will be there cheering for you, especially if you give me ringside tickets.
Me too.
Don't worry, I'll give you this call straight away.
You can do it, Mose. You can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Much love,
Yeah.
bro.
And that goes out to all our Otara students, and not just Mose. It's just everyone. Like you can be the champion. What you do is just how much do you want it? Like, are you willing to give up the macas and the bisupu and the pulsami for?
You don't have to give that up. You don't have to give that up.
just double
You don't have to give that up.
Portions.
Give up the
Portions.
party.
portions. One Big Mac a day. But yeah, just keep striving for the best, bro. Yeah, wishing you all the best, the success, the luck, the blessings for all your future fights, and man, hopefully we get to see you in the UFC and do the damage, with the stand up Otara styles. Yo, any last words from you, Moss?
Just much love and respect, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's good talk.
Shop, bro. TC.
Bad.